Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Christopher!
yes, and we are podcast name in brackets. Anyway, how are you doing today, Christopher?
I'm doing fine, but I think the bigger question is, how are you doing?
Oh, fine. Nothing significant has happened this past week.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
Nothing of eternal significance.
right.
Right. Happens apart from prayer.
Yes,
Yes. But yeah, no, nothing happened.
right,
Definitely nothing happened. It was
right.
not a busy week that I'm starting to think was last week, but it was actually still this week. Um, yeah, no. We talked about Guardians last week.
John!
What?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know it's Mother's Day. It's a great thing to have a mother and be happy about her.
It really is. I'm so thankful I'm able to celebrate Mother's Day with you.
Yeah, and
There's nothing better than wishing the homies Happy Mother's Day.
yeah, I know that you have a mother, but you don't
Yeah.
see her.
No, I will see you next week though.
Yeah, but it's not Mother's Day.
It won't be, which is
No.
sad. So that's why I say congratulations to you.
Yeah, because it's Armed Forces Day this next weekend.
I'll see my mother for that.
Yes, and then before you leave, there's Memorial Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so perfect.
So perfect. Yeah, I know that I keep just stretching this out, but really, did anything happen? I know I've been talking about it for weeks now. Mentioning how...
I can't remember what happened. I guess we can move on.
I guess we can move on. I could just say, I don't have school anymore, and I graduated from university, and now I'm a full-fledged adult with no more dreams and aspirations, but,
Yeah, it's not very important.
nothing important. Anyway, yeah. Let's talk about this week. Yes.
So let's talk about this week. So, how do you feel? Like it hasn't sunk in yet?
Give it a few more days.
That's fair.
Give it a few more days. But yeah, no. We talked on Sunday about Guardians.
Yes.
Which was also the last show that I did for the Music Man. The reason why we were late is because we had to strike everything, and Sound was the only one who had to do any strike, because everything else was being left over for the summer camps. And so, yeah, no, that was the last theater show I had to do at Liberty. That's nothing compared to everything else, though. But yeah, no. Monday was my final exam. Showed up, took in like 5 minutes, 100% it. It was great. Yeah, no, I got 100, which is really cool. Just boom, 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 done.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's great when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that day also, I had a little get-together. My little game nights, as it were, at my house. Do you remember when I used to try and do that with you? That was fun, Some people came, we had pizza, we played card games. Then they left. As people do. And then we had Tuesday. Tuesday, I said that I was going to return my books on Tuesday. I did it after my exam on Monday. Because why not?
Yeah.
Tuesday night was our theater banquet.
Well, question.
Yes.
How long was the line on Monday?
I showed up early.
Oh, good for you then.
I showed up early and it was full. There was no parking whatsoever. So then I left to just go take my exam. When I got back, it was like really small. So
okay, nice.
That was the better choice. But yeah,
who would have known, honestly?
Yeah, the theater banquet is a thing that happens at the end of the year, every year, where theater people.
My department never had a banquet.
Yeah, we get together, dress up fancily, eat food, and then just talk about how great the year was and just give people awards, I guess.
Mhm.
This was my first and only time and last time going.
Were you invited to the others?
See, let me tell you. Yes, I was able to go, but you have to pay $40.
Hmm.
And I don't, me,
Yeah.
if my friendship could end with $15, why would I go to why would I go to a thing for $40, have to dress up, go to this place I've never been to before? Ah,
No,
but no,
I
the
understand.
reason why I didn't go originally is because let's take things back to my first year, freshman year.
Oh.
My first semester, I was under an academic probation and was not able to be part of any shows. You want to
Really?
know why? It was because my ACT scores were not at the required minimum to be part of the university. So, in order for me to be accepted, I'd have to be under an academic probation, which means I was capped at 14 credits.
Interesting.
And I had to take a scheduling course, mentorship course to help me learn how to be a student proper, I guess.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so once I had like a good overall GPA after that first semester, I was able to continue with 18 credits and then able to be part in the show the next semester. And so I did. I was run crew. But by the time the banquet came around, I didn't feel like I had done enough in the department to warrant me going. I didn't feel like I had earned my place there. Uh and it was kind of the same thing with my sophomore year, kinda. I got my first show there for that first semester. First semester of sophomore year. I was a sound assistant, which was basically I just pushed buttons, which I didn't feel at the time was a very noble job because nobody thinks about the sound people. So I was like, still not really earned the respect to be there. The second semester, I was an actor, which it's
Wait,
great.
wait. So there are banquets every semester?
No, it was at
Okay.
the end of the year. But I'm just
Gotcha.
saying that semester, when I did that one show,
Mhm.
again, I felt like, yeah, two shows, but like, I don't feel like my position was worthy to be recognized.
Right.
Same thing with when I did the actor show. That was a student lab, so something that's not really recognized as part of our theater season by the faculty and staff. The students loved it, of course, but like
Mhm.
nobody respected it. And so I was like, oh, the only reason I got cast is because the director is a friend of mine who
Mhm.
we did an acting class together. We did a scene together, so that's why he chose me. And then I felt like, again, I didn't feel like I'd earned my place to be part of the banquet.
Mhm.
Uh, and then the next year, of course, I did wardrobe, and then I was supposed to do rigging, but then COVID happened,
Mhm.
and so we had no banquet that year. I think we maybe had it, but again, it was limited capacity. At that point, I was all about like, COVID, I don't want to pay $40, and that was
Mhm.
the case for the next two. And so this one, it's like, okay, well, you know, it's my last chance.
Yeah.
COVID's not really a big thing. Plus, apparently, we're going to this hotel versus some other outdoor place they used to go to. So I guess that's cool. And so I
Mhm.
did it. I hucked up the $40, got my banquet tickets, and I went.
And was it decent?
Um, yeah, it was it was fine. It's a typical thing where it's like, oh yeah, praise the people, just
Mhm.
talk about the year, how much things meant to you or something. Uh, it was also like one of those things where this was going to be the last chance to see some of these people before,
Mhm.
you know, graduating, and so wanted to do
Yeah.
that. But shocking twist. Shocking twist. Awards. So awards are things that they do, and I believe at each year they give like 8 awards, 6 to 8 awards. Guess who got the first award?
Was it you?
It was me. I got an achievement award for just the biggest growth from being where I was starting as this little nothing to choosing audio and working hard at that, being a student worker. And it completely threw me off guard. I really should send you the photo of like me accepting the award, because like my face was like befuddlement. My boss went up there to announce the thing. Honestly, that should have been a dead giveaway. Like everybody else in the room guessed it, that was going to be the thing. Me, I'm just like, oh, what's this? What's he doing up there? It's like, oh yeah, this first award is to this guy. He's my guy, you know. I'm like, huh. You know, that kind of sounds like me. But like, nah, I didn't do anything. And then he calls my name, and I'm in complete shock. I'm like, still sitting there for like 20 seconds. Like everybody's clapping, looking at me. I'm like, what do I do? Do I go up there? It's like, is this real? Like, why do I get an award? So then I go up there, accept the award. I'm still really confused. It's like, oh, wow, I was not expecting this whole thing. Yeah, no, very interesting moment. Yeah, got an award. Never thought I'd get it. Yeah, no, cool.
So, like, how many people were there?
So, I would say that there was about there's 30 students in my senior class, plus maybe another 10, 20 attending. So about 50 people there. 6 medal awards given out, 6 to 8 given out, and I was one of those.
How do you feel now?
I mean, now it makes sense. You know, I've been there the longest.
Now it makes sense. I asked you how it feels, and you said, now it makes sense.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I still think it's cool. It's like, yeah, it's cool. I got an award. But like an award is just an award. It's just a thing of metal that I can just say, cool. It doesn't really mean much. So right now it's just sitting on the kitchen table because I just left it there for my parents to gawk at or something. So yeah, like if I move away, it's probably gonna stay here, just collecting dust on my shelf like all the other awards that I got in high school. You know.
I mean, I do feel like this should mean a little. I mean, I don't know the weight of the other awards, but the fact I think this should. It's more than just an award from your department. It's also, you know, a token of appreciation.
Yes,
from your
it
boss,
is a token of
you know what I mean?
appreciation. I do feel appreciated. I do feel validated from my department because this was like the staff came together and decided to choose me to get this award for like growing into becoming a sound person, I guess.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. You know, part of me is like, did I really deserve this? Like, there's so many other great people that could have gotten this award, which is true. But like, again, there's so many great people. Everyone deserves an award in their own respect. But I got it, and that's cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, cool.
Now it makes me wonder if you've missed an award from the other penguins. I'm kidding. But, like, I do wonder, like, if you skipped out on going to the banquet, like, do they, like...
Is that another reason why they're like, oh, this is his first time going? This is his last time
going. There's growth!
There's growth! Yeah, no, that's part of the speech Greg gave. It's like, this man, I've seen him grow like socially into the job, going out of the show. Like he's my guy. We just talk in the booth. He's super chill. Yeah, no. I hope. I wonder if there was a recording. There's not, but like I would like there to be, just to see my stupid face being like, "What's happening? I'm so confused."
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Nice moment. Nice moment.
That's a good. That's a story I want you to tell over and over and over again.
It's a good story.
Like
it can be like an emotional story too. If I even put in like, oh, I was such a egotistical person my freshman year who wanted to get all the awards, but then when I changed, I thought I'd never get any, and here I am now winning this award that I didn't expect. It is my favorite getting the award moment, of course, because I didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah.
The other is like I knew I were getting them.
Yeah.
I was like, I worked hard for that. This one was like, oh, really? Me? In this room of 50 people who I admire? Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. And so that was Tuesday night. I said goodbye to a bunch of people who weren't seniors. Which was nice. Got photos taken. I kind of gotten photos taken. Other people took the photos. I'll get to that. Because, I'm the worst at taking photos, apparently.
Yeah.
I am the worst at taking photos. I'm like, oh, I should take a photo for this occasion. But then I never do.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant, like, at actually taking photos.
Yes.
Like, my photos are so bad that I don't know why I take photos. So I
guess, that too. But it's also like, there's so many special people in my life that I never choose to take photos with because I never think about it. I visited you last year. I took like the photos of the golf course, the butterfly thing. We never got a photo together. Just the two of us.
That's great.
It's
I'm
so
the
great.
same way because we're the same. Yeah.
I used to be so good about that because
really?
people meant so much to me. So much
and now, not as much.
Yeah. I guess it's the stupid phone. Because before, I had to get like an actual point and shoot camera, and I'd be intentional. But with like the phone, you don't think about it because it's just a part of your thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe I'll take a picture, but you're too busy in the moment. So yeah. But that's just Tuesday. Wednesday, I wasn't really expecting anything to happen. I was just planning. Okay. I get a free T-shirt for graduating.
Oh, Wednesday was your commencement?
My commencement T-shirt, yes. So I went to get that, and then I got invited to a party, a farewell party with some people. It's like, yay, we get to say more goodbyes to each other and be sad and all. And then...
Did you act sad?
No. I was just more like... No. I was more appreciative to be like, yay, I'm here, we're playing games. Oh, they have a cat, that's cute. And then I had to go to another event where we watched a baseball game. We're like, oh, guys, let's do this.
Baseball.
I do. They're like, hey, guys, let's do this one last thing as college students. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go watch a baseball game. Nobody had ever gone. But, like, let's just go. Wow, that game was terrible. No, Liberty lost terribly. There's a thing in baseball called the mercy rule.
Oh.
Where, if you're down by so many points and there's like little chance of you coming back, they'll end the game. That happened to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad, but it was great just to be there with the friends.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
How many innings did you get through? Or did Liberty get through?
Well, 7.
7?
We got through 7 before they're like, we're not coming back from this. Honestly, it should have been much sooner.
How do they announce it?
Well, we knew that the game was over when the team started just rushing the field and the winning team rushed the field. It's like, oh, I guess it's over. They never announced it.
so interesting.
The rest of the field is like, okay, final score, this. It's like, oh, well, there's the mercy roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was 14-1. Was the final score.
Nice.
After 3 innings, it was 13-0.
Really?
So they really should have called it so much sooner. But no, we had fun just sitting there, watching them lose.
Honestly, like a baseball game is like the best sport to like just chat with people.
Yeah, I mean, did we chat? We talked about how bad our team was. That was about it. You know, just sitting there enjoying the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, we went to Rookies. I don't know if you know what Rookies is.
Yes, I do.
It's the ice cream sandwich place. I've never been, and so
I've only gone like once. Did you like it?
I thought it was alright. It's just
because the thing is, like, all like my friends love Rookies, and I went and I'm just like, it's fine.
It's fine. It's just ice cream sandwich with cookies, you know. I eat this. I can eat that.
I was very underwhelmed.
Right. Plus, it was 50% off for graduate students. It's like, hey, You're graduating, 50% off, and so we went. Mm-hmm. And that was like a much more somber time, because like we were there. I was looking at the clock. It's like, guys, in 12 hours we'll be graduating. It's like, yeah, no, we were like so somber. It's like, oh my gosh, we're like leaving. It's like, oh no. You know, it was a fun time doing that. And of course, Thursday, graduation day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I was able to sleep, but I was.
Okay.
I was. You know, I slept.
Were you nervous about it?
Like, I was thinking, well, it's like, it's the end of an era, you know? It's like, man, after tomorrow, this thing I've been doing for 20 years is done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh. It was like, because I was thinking, like, it was going to be dawning on me, like, so heavily that I wouldn't be able to sleep. But no, I was tired enough to sleep. Mm-hmm. And so I did. Thursday, graduation day. Our ceremony's at 10 o'clock. We got to the Liberty Arena, the basketball stadium, at 8:30. You know, early, because, you know, traffic. Which was nice, because the traffic didn't start till 9, apparently. Mm-hmm. So that was good on us. I was there, cap and gown, in the arena for a couple hours waiting. You know, I got photos. I intentionally got photos with as many people as I could.
Nice.
What you saw on Instagram was what I got. Mm-hmm. Which was nice.
I was like, John's using Instagram a lot lately.
Yeah, because it's a big moment. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be more social, I guess.
Greg's really getting pro on you.
You know, people have been saying, like, John, I love your Instagram stuff. And I'm like, cool. I might do that more. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the videos. I finally finished the ones that I recorded months ago. But yeah, no. The ceremony, you know, took a couple hours. We had 500 students graduating in our school department. Mm-hmm. Sorry, the School of Communication and the Arts, so all the DG and cinema and all that, 500 students. And of course, we're the last row. We're the last 30 students of everyone. I'm in the last 10 students. But yeah, no, it was an interesting time. We're sitting there, we're all bored, we're all hungry, it's hot. Some people are just playing games on their phones because, you know, we're at the last people. We don't have to care about everyone else going up there. But what was cool was that, you know, they honored students, of course. And guess what? They're like, you know, this past thing, I want to honor some students. They already know. We've already given them the awards. And, like, they called my name. And it's, like, really cool. Yeah. Neat. I was
So they
so
mentioned
out
the
of
6
so
to 8
out of
again.
all the departments, only 8 students were named. I was one of those 8. You know, I got to stand up. People clapped at me. You know, pretty cool. It wasn't as surprising as getting the award, but it was still like, oh, look at that. I got praise. Cool. That's all I wanted to hear. And then, you know, they started getting the graduates and doing all that stuff. Once they got closer and closer to our role, we start.
Sorry, quick question about the 8 that were called. Like, did they say something alongside your name, or was just your name?
It was like, it's this. Okay, it's like John. He's getting this award because of his achievement in doing this, like something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm gonna send another letter to HR and be like, John got 2 awards in his graduation ceremony. Consider him.
I can send you the clip too. Them saying my name. Just them saying my name in the big room. That was streamed live. Of course, they didn't show any footage of me standing up and doing that, but you know, I got my name. But yeah, no. Once they got closer and closer to our row, like everybody started getting nervous and all. I was getting nervous. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so soon. And then we go up there. I do my thing, get my card, got the picture with the dean, walked back, and that was it. I don't really know.
What time did you guys get out?
We were done at 12, so it was 2 hours. Yeah, but like after they gave their final speech, it was like a mad rush to just leave because, of course, they had to get the next ceremony prepared at 2. And so I didn't have time to properly say goodbye to anyone. So I had to, because I had to go with my parents and leave and get a whole crowded bus with people, go all the way around, and then eat at Applebee's, I guess. But yeah, no, you know, once I got up there, it was like, okay, I didn't feel much because I was so focused on the task of, okay, I have to go across and do this task. So I'm done. I've accomplished this thing, and it's fine. Right now, it's like, okay, well, I have to get a job now, so no time to think about this accomplishment. I gotta get the job. So, yeah, it's exactly how I felt when I got my high school graduation. It was like, okay, cool. Now let me think about college.
So you're not really taking a lot of time to like, not a lot of time, but a few days to like relax. Just be like, I'm done.
Well, even with relaxing, it's like the feeling of accomplishment. I don't seem to grasp that feeling. It's like, okay, cool, but there's this other important thing that has to be done. So let me shift my focus.
That's fair.
On that. Once receiving the award, my focus was getting onto the stage. Plus, I was told to go sit back down. That was my task. And then, you know, I did feel a sense of pride once everybody was there.
Yeah.
But then it was like, okay, now I have to leave because the next thing's coming in. So there wasn't really a whole lot of time to just sit there and reflect on this accomplishment because, okay, I have to leave. I got home and I took a fat nap, a really nice nap because I was just so tired.
Yeah.
After all that, I woke up, had to do like a celebratory dinner with my roommate who also got his master's. So we did that. And then the Friday I mainly just chilled. But it was the harder day because I had to write all of these farewell letters to people. And I didn't want to write them. Like, I would sit down and it's like, okay, I have to write them. But I'm like, I don't want to write this. It's like, I don't want to have to say goodbye. And I had to. So I did that. Slowly, I did that. And then, I guess yesterday was Saturday. What did I do Saturday? Oh, yeah. So, yesterday, my family came up to visit to my grandmother on my father's side and my aunt. Came up and we celebrated all day, me. And then today was Mother's Day. And here I am.
A nice full week.
A nice full week.
Mm-hmm.
Like parts of it, I'm like, was that this week? Man,
Yeah.
I did so much this week. And because of that, I did not listen to your mixtape.
You're good.
No, I know.
I was kind of wondering, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So have you applied? Did you apply for jobs within the past week or not?
No.
No. Okay. So I guess you'll kind of start getting on that this week.
Yeah, my interview is this next week with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Was that Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that there's someone in PA I know who's also trying to get a job over there, and so like it's kind of funny how like I'm trying to like remember you guys' dates and such. So yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. So the thing she's doing is on Wednesday, so I couldn't remember what day it was on.
And she also wants the sound job?
No, it's not sound.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Well, okay.
No, and plus also her thing's in PA, so.
I guess that's important for me somehow.
No. I only said it because I'm like, okay, I'm struggling to remember whose day is whose. You know
Okay.
Because like it.
Is
like,
this someone that you know, or just some random person? Okay.
Someone I know.
Okay.
Like we worked at camp.
I was wondering why you were telling me this.
Yeah, no, it's like you guys have been like having interviews or whatever like the same week this whole time. I'm just like trying to remember who's just happening when essentially.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. So yeah, I will be curious to know how that goes. So I don't know like if you. Because, like, I feel like I would say, tell me how it goes, in theory, over text. But over text, you're not going to say anything. So, like, I almost just, like, want to briefly call you,
Do you want me to tell you how it goes?
Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe Friday I'll call and just
I'll tell you that I had it. Because I don't know if it went well or not until they call me back.
I know. Just more or less, like, how did you feel kind of thing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I get that, yeah.
I'll probably just call you Friday unless you end up actually texting a decent whatever.
Sure. I have to travel to PA next weekend, I guess.
Yeah. Also, so on that note, so next weekend, I guess we won't call. I guess we'll probably attempt to record when I'm over there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then we will see where life is after that, specifically with you.
I have nothing planned for the next few days, so I can just chill.
Chill?
It's going to feel weird.
Yeah.
Because before I chill, it's like, okay, let me get my chilling done before school starts.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, now what?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of chilling?
I get that.
Okay.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
But what can you do about it?
What can I do about it? Get a job. Get a life.
Yeah.
Get a life. Finish working on that big video.
Yeah.
At some point, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I released a work in progress version of that video.
I saw that you released something, and I'm like, oh, it's related to that video. I was wondering like what it was specifically.
Yeah, it was the classroom edit.
That makes sense.
And the reason is because I showed it to a friend of mine who
liked it enough.
Huh?
Did you like it enough?
Oh yeah, they did. Like they're not my target audience, but like they're part of the Digi people who they're like they're complimenting my visual style and editing and the way it was shot, and it's like, John, you should be a director. I'm like, no. Well, it's like, well, if you could like be able to communicate your ideas, like you could do some really cool stuff. I'm like, well, thanks, buddy. Well, we should also release this thing, and then just have it as a teaser for your like full length project whenever that thing comes out. And it's like, oh, maybe that's kind of a good idea. But yeah, no, he's my main camera guy if I need a camera guy. He's a really cool guy. Really I hope one day you get to meet him because he's a really valuable asset.
What's his name?
His name is Mo, or Jonathan Mears.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, he showed up later. He's yeah, he was a freshie when I started. He was a freshie when I started my DG minor, and we were in 225 together, which was
nice.
Yeah, and so then we've just used each other in other projects. I use him as my camera guy because he's like the only guy that I trust to operate the camera.
And what does he use you for?
A person. Just like he uses me for if he needs someone in his background. Or just advice on something. He's also part of the esports, and so he'll like show me his stuff. He's cool. I think you get along. I hope you would.
Me too.
Yes. He's also just a big comedian. he's a non-stop joker. Love the guy. Yeah. So how are you doing, Christopher?
How am I doing? I'm doing fine. I mean, there's a few things that I don't want to talk about on the podcast, but in general, like, I'm happy and thankful. Like, really, for the most part, it's kind of the same as it was. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the main thing I kind of have going on is just doing a lot of work for Simple McCallum, just like keeping the other social platforms like up to date and such, which I obviously post across posts. But yeah, that's kind of been the main thing for that. So it's been good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've talked about it enough where I don't have to go into too much extra detail.
Writer's strike is in full effect.
It's in full effect.
Things are getting pushed back, including Daredevil. It is what it is.
It's honestly,
it was expected. Stuff to being pushed back. It is sad because I really want it, but I get it. You got to treat those people right.
Yeah, treat them right, but also you want the best product possible.
Yeah. Then of course,
also, Stranger Things, like the Duffer Brothers, they said we are not shooting until the writer's strike is resolved. So they were supposed to film over the summer, but that's not happening.
Yep. And
so that could push Stranger Things. I would like the other writer's strikes have been around like 100 days kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or like the last one definitely. So like or around that range. So like if that's the case, and if the Duffer Brothers really want to shoot during the summer, then that's at least a full year delay for Stranger Things if they want to shoot during the summer.
True.
Not to mention like all the scheduling you have to reschedule.
And then the animators, who are also writers, are like, once this writer strike gets done, we should get starting our animation strike.
Honestly, everybody should just strike.
Everybody should just strike. I kind of agree with the animation strike because they are, again, treated terribly by studios.
Well, I'm just thinking, what better time to strike than right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, one strike at a time, really.
No. Okay. You know what? That's kind of fair. I'm just thinking, because I hate how some of these productions are still moving on without writers.
Right.
I think I heard Lord of the Rings of Power. They're continuing on with show writers, but they only have 10 days left of shooting. So that I understand. You're almost done. But some other things, they're we're just gonna power through. I'm just really, no, just stop. And so it's almost like a point where I don't think things would be resolved until things really shut down. They already say, and so that's why I almost would advocate for other things shut down. But then also, that could, just really upset the studios so much that they wouldn't negotiate if everybody did strike. Who knows? Anything could happen. So really, there's no perfect way of anything happening. Anyway, thank you guys so much for.
Anyway, yeah, it's been a long week for me. I mentioned everything, pretty much. Doctor Who teasers came out, which is cool.
That's for the special, right?
For the specials in
3-episode special.
November. Yeah, over and many months later. So I'm back on HBO Max.
Oh, so you watching Rings of Power?
No, not yet. I might. But no.
What do you mean you might?
I mean, I might. I'm gonna watch Last of Us first, but I have to
that's
get on.
fair.
Yeah, I have to get on that. I have to get on that in order to start that process.
So you haven't started watching anything yet?
I mean, no. So I got HBO Max again because they finally released the last episode of Doctor Who 6 months ago, from 6 months ago, and so I watched that with Mom, and then Genndy Tartakovsky's new animated series called Unicorn: Eternal Warriors is airing, and those episodes are going on HBO Max, and so I'm watching that because Genndy's pretty cool. And that's been an interesting show. And so, right now, just figuring out what to watch between this, Hulu, and Netflix.
So, speaking of Hulu, we finally got news. Bob Iger has announced that they will be releasing a roof for Disney Plus, Hulu, and reportedly ESPN Plus. But they will still be available as individual streamers as well.
A what?
I'm saying a roof, the fact that you'll be able to say I've been what if they were combined? So it'd be an app
So it's probably already Hulu, but if you had all the add-ons for free.
No, because HBO Max is an add-on, so you're not going to get that for free.
No.
So
I'm saying it's the same idea where you have the stuff together, the add-on stuff together. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're making it sound like it's going to be its own separate app.
Max.
So, I think for me that's intriguing. You know what I mean? Because again, if you use both, then it would just be nicer if they were just in one app instead of separate. So, I think that's really cool. And so because even last year, I was talking and hoping about something similar. And so it sounds like they don't have plans to shut down either of them because, especially Hulu, is popular and strong enough that they don't want to shut it down. You know what I mean? So you keep the Hulu brand, but you still are able to utilize Hulu and Disney Plus together as one app. So that's kind of smart. I'm not gonna lie. Because like the thing is with like HBO Max and Discovery Plus is that from what I'm hearing, you can still choose to subscribe to only the Discovery Plus content. You know what I mean?
It seems that way, yeah.
So I just like, why the full rebrand? I mean, we talked about kids, but still, like, just like choose a better name than just Max. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like just to a friend, I decided just to say Max, and he's like, "What's Max?" Like, yeah, exactly.
So again, they removed a bunch of animated stuff from HBO Max. Particularly some Ben 10 shows. It's the most memorable. I don't know why.
What? That sounds familiar.
It's a Cartoon Network show about this kid who has this watch that lets him turn into alien superheroes. It was pretty cool at the time. Still kind of cool now, but I've kind of outgrown him.
I heard that they were supposed to create like free HBO Max channels or something, so they would have ads. So it'd be like a free streamer, but like the ads would help pay for like, you know, the royalties.
Right.
Because like, you know, so like the money for they're getting for subscriptions, it's worth paying for stuff for like The Last of Us, but it's not worth paying for something like no-name indie movie. So it's like,
correct.
Take out no-name indie movie, so you don't have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for that. And
but what's been really interesting though is that what's been coming to Netflix.
Indie movies?
No, Powerpuff Girls is back on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So
it went to HBO and then back to Netflix?
It's still on HBO. But it's now also on Netflix, which is interesting.
Fun.
I know, that was like, oh, cool, let me put it on my list and never watch it. Type of thing. What they also just recently got was the Justice League TV show.
Netflix?
Yeah, which is like the most shocking part. Because why? I'm not mad. I love having it back on Netflix after so many years, but still, I'm trying to understand what's going on. What's the move behind all this?
Guess the streaming's too expensive.
I guess, but yeah, no, I get to watch Justice League. I mean, I can already watch it because it's on HBO Max still. But like, yeah.
Oh wait, it's still on HBO Max.
It's still on HBO Max, but it's also on Netflix.
I guess.
Which is
again, just more money for licensing.
I guess, but I'm not mad about it. I love it, but it's just very interesting.
I wonder. I remember when like The Dark Knight was being shopped around to a few different streamers because it was like on HBO and Netflix at the same time.
Yeah.
It was on. I wonder where it's at right now.
I don't know.
Curious.
But yeah, no, that was like the main thing I saw that Netflix got. And I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. Will I watch them? No. I can't. I just watched them last year, so probably not. But then again, I do love these shows, so I might.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe just select episodes. I might watch the Powerpuff Girls again. Because, you know I love that show.
Yeah. So on Netflix, if something's been removed, it no longer shows up in your saved list?
On my list?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it leaves.
Because like on Hulu, it still is there.
Yeah,
You
no, I
obviously
saw
can't watch
that. I was weird. It was weird. It's like, oh, that's still there, and I went to it. It's like, oh no, it's gone. On the one hand, it reminds me about what was there in case I forget.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Netflix, I get why they don't do it, but like when something shows up on my list after it's been gone, it's like, oh, cool, this is back
Mm. Oh, so it pops back up.
on my list. Yes.
That is cool. I wonder because I know if something's removed from Disney Plus, I know it disappears from the list, but I wonder if it pops back up.
Yeah. And so, like, it's mostly movies that will randomly pop up on my list, and so I have to like let them go because I don't want them on my list anymore because I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised to see those things pop up again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, cool stuff.
Guardians 3. So basically, a lot of the Marvel movies recently have had like significant like drops in their second week. Even Spider-Man No Way Home had like a, I don't know, like a 60-something% drop in its second weekend. That was also due to the fact that it was like a holiday weekend, or like just where holidays were, so it didn't really aid it, aid the timing. But regardless, it's been a long time since we've had a Marvel or MCU movie had less than a 50% drop. And now Guardians 3 is one of them, only having a 49% drop, which is the first one since the pandemic, but also in a while, actually. I saw the list. It was. I think the list was Iron Man, Thor, and Black Panther. Black Panther only had like a 44% drop, so that is like the best second weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but Guardians 3
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Guardians 3 has made more than Ant-Man Quantumania in its full theatrical run.
Well, I'm not surprised by that either.
Yeah, I think it's just really interesting because like Ant-Man 3 had a huge first weekend, right? There's enough hype to generate that much money, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like it really bit into like Guardians' first weekend because Guardians 3's first weekend didn't beat out Volume 2. Volume 2 was like 150. I don't know where 3 was at, but it didn't hit 150 domestically.
Correct.
But it's having a significant, good, second week drop. And I think like this is a movie where word of mouth is just obviously going to aid it, and it's people are going to go back to watch this and support it. But also with it being a darker story, it also makes you wonder how rewatchable it is at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
Especially for families.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm curious what the end total will be, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Will I rewatch it with you when it happens? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. What else is there to talk about that's of significance?
I mean, I feel like it's been just mostly writer's strike.
It's been mostly writer's strike, but I haven't been paying attention to the writer's strike that much.
Right. It's just like things get affected.
Things.
Oh, this is interesting. Samuel L. Jackson says Secret Invasion has to happen for the Marvels to make sense.
Well, yeah, I guess he's not gonna die.
Yeah.
If he's in the Marvels, then he's not gonna die.
Then he's not gonna die.
Unless he's a Skrull in the Marvels.
You know what? That would be that would be such a crazy twist if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, like in the Marvels, he looks like Nick Cage.
Nick Cage?
Fury. In the Marvels, he looks like Nick Fury. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But in Secret Invasion, he looks very rugged. I mean, obviously, he could have a makeover just in time for the Marvels, right? Go back to normal, but
yeah,
that would be really interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for a Secret Invasion, but now I'm like, so now it's connected to the Marvels?
I mean, I guess so.
Because there wasn't evidence, from what I saw, of Skrulls in the Marvels.
But like Nick Fury is in space.
Right, but I don't know. Whatever. Like, I'm still, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed with the news. Again, like I want to like the Marvels, but like
I don't know why you're surprised.
I didn't see it coming. I guess like because you don't know how some things like you don't know how connected it is until you realize it's connected. You know what I mean? And so I knew Nick Cage was in both of them, but there were no evidence of Skrulls in the Marvels trailer, from what I remember, and there's no evidence of Brie Larson in Secret Invasion, so I didn't expect the two to be connected. Thought they were going to be separate stories. And hey, if they're both good, they're both good. But I guess here's the thing. I was James Gunn saying in an interview, and I mean this isn't really big news or anything, but he weighed on the superhero fatigue, and he says, "I don't think there's necessarily superhero fatigue. You know, it's the fact that we're just getting stories without emotional grounding, and obviously Guardians 3 is a good example of a story with emotional grounding." And I was thinking about Multiverse of Madness, and like I think it's a fun movie in hindsight. Like,
right,
I've liked it more since my initial viewing, because like if you just kind of like want a fun light horror movie, Multiverse of Madness, you know what I mean? It's not that horror, but Sam Raimi runs in those circles. That's why I said it. And its influences. Anyways, like it's a fun movie in its own right, but like the script is really threadbare. The emotional stakes aren't really there. And I started to hone in on that. Like it really could have honed in on that idea of Wanda really wanting her kids. That wasn't really explored in the movie that much. Like obviously that was the center of it, but we didn't really tap into Wanda's emotional state. All we saw was, oh, Wanda's scary. You know what I mean? And I think if we saw more of her and her hurt and more of that desire and humanized her more, I think we would. Obviously, it still wouldn't have reached the heights of what we were expecting for a multiverse movie, but I think it would have hit harder, and and so that's one thing. Another thing is like Quantumania. It never had to be an Ant-Man movie. Any round of characters could have been in that movie. Now, obviously, Ant-Man and crew have history with quantum physics and all that crap, but like it didn't have to be Ant-Man in that movie. It could have been anyone, right? So that was a story of like subjecting characters for a certain story that, in hindsight, I don't know what the point was. You haven't seen it right yet.
I have not seen it yet.
Okay, so I almost said something, and I won't say it. By the way, it's Disney Plus this week if you're interested.
Oh well, I'm not.
Wait, no, my bad. No, it hits. It does. It does hit. I think it. I can't remember if it's hit. It's either hitting like physical or Disney Plus this week.
Well, I'm not getting Disney until August.
Okay, and you don't have Disney right now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyways, so like with and then there's an aspect of like Quantumania and Multiverse of Madness not being grounded enough. I mentioned emotionally, but also with the world. Guardians 3, to be fair, wasn't grounded in this world, but like I don't know how to explain that part, but definitely we've had a lot of stuff that hasn't been grounded in this world lately. So I guess if Secret Invasion lives on the Winter Soldier hype, then I guess that audience will love it a lot. I hope it's really good. I just really wonder about the Marvels. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? How standalone is it? Or how much is it trying to push an overall narrative of the MCU as a whole? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are we truly going to see like the emotional stakes of the characters? I know the director was talking about that for Captain Marvel's character, maybe possibly Procon's character as well. I can't remember for sure, but I know it was only a teaser, but I didn't get that from the teaser. So we'll see. You know, I guess. So I guess kind of what I was saying is, if Secret Invasion has to happen for the Marvels to happen, I guess what I'm a little upset about is the Ant-Man situation, where it's like anybody could be in this situation for a certain story to happen.
Sure.
And so we'll see if that's the case with the Marvels. Like, did it actually have to be those three characters for that story to progress? Or could it have been anyone? So, because I thought it was going to be more standalone-ish. More of a Captain Marvel centered story, and not necessarily progressing what we got from Secret Invasion.
Right.
So that's why I'm disappointed. If that makes sense.
Well, it might not even be progressing what we got from Secret Invasion, but more so Nick Fury's yes, Nick Fury's presence on the film.
That's fair. Yeah. I think it's also, we might have talked about it last week, but just looking at the lineup, like, I don't know when we're getting the next good Marvel project. You know what I mean? Because also, Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts are meant to continue storylines from The Incredible Hulk, Wakanda Forever, Eternals. Those are three pillars I'm seeing that are being continued on in those two movies. And so, like, it just feels like it's just it's another TV show episode. And not, like, and I mean, hopefully we'll be able to explore more of Anthony Mackie's character or something, or whatever characters we got in the Thunderbolt. We'll see. Just, I don't know. They just feel more like TV show episodes right now.
So, I'm about to cross something off on my bucket list.
Oh, what's this?
It's called Finish College.
Nice.
It's crossed off.
So, are there other things on your bucket list?
The next one is get a career.
Get a career.
So I'll find out next week, I guess. Mm-hmm. No, I want to go more in depth on this later.
Yeah, the bucket list.
Yes, I might make a whole video on it.
Oh.
Because I made this thing 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of fun to look back on things from 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'll be fun.
So, sorry, one kind of piece of news. I don't know the details. Probably writer's strike related, but Blade's pre-production has been shut down.
Of course.
So, how great of a chance do you think the actor is gonna walk out?
Who's the actor?
He's a name.
He is a name.
I
I
don't
think
think I've
he
seen
was
him.
in Luke Cage.
Was he?
I think so. So, honestly, I don't know. I know nothing about this film because nothing about this film has been done.
Right.
So, it's not much for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame if it does happen.
Yeah.
But,
The shame.
Tis a shame.
So, sorry. So with the bucket list, are you going to add to the list?
No.
No.
No. I'm not even going to finish this list, but it's just like a fun thing to look at what my mindset was 10 years ago.
That's fair.
And see what was very relevant. Because there's some things that are very relevant that the very next year can no longer be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'll be fun.
Did I mention, I don't remember if I mentioned last time, but Guardians 3 is the highest rated MCU project on Letterboxd.
I think you said that, yes.
Okay, that's still pretty crazy. Last time we started still sitting at that 4.2.
Nice.
Okay, so does Guardians 3 sit in your top 5 or top 10 or top 15? Where do you feel like it sits?
For MCU specifically?
Yes.
Probably 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most definitely probably 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it makes 5.
Yeah, I also feel similar. Where I don't know if it cracks my 5, but it's probably definitely be 10. But then again, I haven't looked at like a ranking list in a while, so I don't know for sure.
Not since we ranked it on Tiermaker.
We did do that, huh?
We did do that.
Remember when we tried to like rank characters?
Did we try and do characters?
I think so. There were like 150. I'm like, who's that? And you're like, this is this person. I thought this was.
We did do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should take a look at that. If I can, if I remember. But yeah, I vaguely remember we did that.
Did you save yours?
Well, if I was logged in at the time, then it has an account of the things that I probably saved. Maybe, maybe not. Well, let's see if I saved anything. Oh, we did do this. I did. It's saved.
It's saved.
Is it fully saved? Let's take a look at this list again. All right, in F tier, we have Justin Hammer. One of the, like, pretty much all of the Thanos bad guys. We have the fake Mandarin. The guy that killed Thor's mom. The guy who doesn't know who Star-Lord is. What's this guy? Price? Director Price? From whatever that film was. Winter Soldier. There's the Golden Lady. Captain Marvel's here. Oh, interesting. Taserface.
Well, honestly, Golden Lady hasn't really moved in her position, I guess.
No. The villain for Captain Marvel. We got Flash Thompson.
I was about to say, like, what?
Flash Thompson. Thor's Asian friend.
Mm-hmm.
Some blue girl. I guess from Captain Marvel. The bald guy with Hydra or something. The guy with a southern accent from Ant-Man and Wasp. And then Yellow Jacket.
And has a, oh, my bad. Never mind.
MODOK. Yes, I know he's MODOK.
Okay. I keep forgetting that it's in the movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. E. We have the guy, not the caretaker, the guy who collector. Is it the collector?
I think so.
We have collector. We've got Heimdall. We've got someone from Black Panther. We got the evil elf guy. I think her name is Maria Hill. We've got Modor. Is it Modor?
What's Modor?
Doctor Strange, Modo. His friend turned enemy, I guess.
I don't remember his name, honestly.
That's either Shiri or some other person, probably the girlfriend. Then we got Korg's bug friend. What's his name again?
Don't remember.
Yep. Peggy. He's an E.
John!
What? I don't know if this was me or a group effort. See?
There would have been no way I would have put Peggy there.
Well,
she's a top 5 character for me.
I don't remember making this list, so I don't know why she's there.
Do you disagree with that or not?
I mean, after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, makes sense to me.
Oh, wait. Sharon Carter?
Sharon, yes.
Gosh, John!
Sorry, I get confused. Peggy is much higher. Yes,
Thank
she
you.
is. Sorry. Sharon. I get confused. They're all both Carters. Then we got the guy from Thor. Then we got the second fake Mandarin. The one that's cool, not the orange guy. We have Thunderbolt Ross. Or Skrull guy. Whiplash. We got Zemo. We got Zemo. Howard Stern, the warmonger. Then we've got Aunt May. Darcy. Monica Rambeau. MJ, interesting. Quicksilver. Onto the D list, we've got Abomination, Crossbones, Dormammu, Ghost, Martin Freeman's character. What's the cat's name? Goose?
Yeah, from Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck. People. Mantis. Nebula. They've moved up. Then who's her? Tony's wife.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper, yeah. Then we got the blue guy. Who's the blue guy?
There's a lot of blue guys.
The blue guy with a hammer. Ronan, the accuser. Yes. Lady Sif. Spider-Man. Valkyrie. War Machine. Wong, who has moved up for sure. Jane. And Mysterio. When did we do this?
That would have been 2 years ago.
Before No Way Home. And probably before Hawkeye as well.
Probably.
Yes, because at C tier we have Hawkeye. We have
Would he have moved up for you?
Maybe. We have Hawkeye. We have the Ancient One. We have Ego. Falcon. Old Ant-Man. Happy. Howard Stark. Killmonger. Korg. Loki. That Ant-Man's friend who talks a lot. I got Ned. Odin. Jarvis. Rocket. Groot. Although this is teenage Groot specifically. Then we got the Wasp, Black Widow, Red Skull, Star-Lord, Wanda, Coulson, Winter Soldier, and Gamora. B, we have Black Panther, Ant-Man, Nick Fury, the Game Master. We've got what's his face? Claw. We've got Vulture, Doctor Strange, Hela, Yondu, Vision, Peggy.
Yay!
Bruce Banner / the Hulk. A tier, we have Baby Groot, Ultron, Thanos, Drax, and Thor. A plus tier, or S tier, we have Iron Man, Captain America, the original Groot, and Stan Lee.
Nice.
So that's our list of characters, which has probably changed.
Did we talk about the end credit scenes in Guardians?
I think briefly, yeah. What else do you want to say about it?
I don't know. It'll probably just be rehashing whatever we said. But
Yeah.
I was just like thinking about the credits when there was Stanley, the picture of Stanley.
Oh, that was nice, yeah.
Yeah. And then like seeing that made me think, oh yeah, there hasn't been. I mean, because it's dead, but it's like,
of course,
there's been no Stanley cameo since. It's just really interesting to think about.
Yeah, no Stan Lee cameos, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
But
so forgot about that.
And so yeah, that's the list of our characters. That's Guardians. That was my whole week. That's the writer's strike so far-ish.
That'd be an interesting thing, like thinking like through Phase 4, like where could have Stan Lee had cameos? I don't know if I want to go through that much effort, but like Phase 4 did so much everywhere. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not to mention like the TV shows. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of content.
So Stan Lee does less cameos for TV shows.
But like they're within like the MCU, so I would have wondered like would he have still done them?
Probably in the second season. Because that's what he did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter. I think he was an Agent Carter.
But I thought Agent Carter was the first season.
Was he in the first season?
So.
Well, whatever. He's there.
Right. Yeah, that would be interesting to think about.
He's not in the Netflix Marvel shows.
Mm.
But he was in a trailer for The Defenders.
Really?
Yes.
So like an actual cameo?
Not an actual cameo. It was like a trailer for The Defenders where Stan Lee is just going about New York talking about superheroes, and he looked one direction and it just cut to like a clip from the show and he's just smiling at what's going on. So it's like Oh, we got him for this small commercial talking about superheroes and such.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing besides his picture in the background.
Mm-hmm. That's so interesting.
It
I
is.
completely forgot that he had cameos.
Yeah. You can't forget Stanley had cameos, but you know.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched old MCU in a long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like new MCU, like Phase 4 is essentially have more content than the first 3 phases combined. You know what I mean? So that's a lot.
But yeah.
That would be a really interesting project. Now that I think about it.
To do what?
I don't know if I want to go through the effort, but I kind of do. But just be like, where would have Stan Lee been in whatever project?
I mean, people have already done that. They've gone like all the clips of his cameos. Like he's done early stuff.
No. I mean, like, say, like Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, oh, he would have been one of the gods for sure. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean what his new cameos?
Where would he put him throughout? Phase 4.
I think I told you that I finished reading this book.
I think you mentioned starting it.
Yeah, I finished it. Oh, it's really nice.
Oh, sorry. What's the name of the book for the people?
The book is called My Little Brony. I got it because I just found it. I was like, oh, cool. Interesting. I have to read this. I read it. It's really nice. It's like I don't know, it just reminded me of my time in high school. And so I really liked a lot of this. I did wish that the ending was longer than what it was. I actually kind of hope for a sequel because I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be curious to see what happens now that the show is over with this character. So I'm like,
maybe you could write it.
Yeah, that's fan fiction. I don't really.
Still,
it's not my thing.
Still.
No, I have nothing to say about that.
Still,
I enjoyed the. What else do we have to say?
Okay, so curious. So Stan Lee, he had cameos in the Maguire movies.
Yes.
Right. All 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay. What about the Garfield ones?
He was there. Yes. Those are more obvious cameos.
Gotcha. I do remember, I think Spider-Man 1 when the Goblin in Times Square or something.
So a lot of his earlier cameos are very quick, easy, and you miss it. Where it's just like a shot of him doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like in X-Men, he's in the background.
Honestly, X-Men, thinking about it, I can't remember any of his cameos, but I don't even think he was in all of them. Or was he?
He's in most of them.
Was he?
Yeah.
I really have to look it up. I think arguably the sweetest cameo he's had was in Spider-Verse. Because he essentially encouraged Miles Morales, right?
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
That's possibly one of the sweetest cameos.
My favorite cameo of his is from the first Andrew Spider-Man one.
What was it? I don't remember.
He's a librarian who's listening to music while the fight with the lizard is going on behind him.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. He actually had a cameo in the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Really?
Which was right before his death, which was really cool to see.
Yeah. I kind of want to do this, we don't have to do all the projects, but just
we want to do a little project where we have to guess where Stan Lee would be in Phase 4.
Yeah. So like I said, in Thor: Love and Thunder, I think he would have been one of the gods.
We'll start writing stuff down. Maybe we'll work on a video.
You want to do a video?
Sure.
Because you're editing this, I'm not.
I can do it.
Okay.
But we'll see, of course. convenience and such. I have to finish my project first.
True. Yeah. I mean, like, if we film it, there's no pressure to release it, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's just more like a fun idea. Like, oh, where would he have been?
yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah. People, let's steal our ideas and create content. Why not?
Yeah. I'm gonna write that down.
Analyze all the previous scenes and figure out where we would put them. Probably in a lighthearted moment.
Right. Honestly, like, I'm probably just gonna like look at the title, think about what happened, and just because there's no way I'm going through and trying to throw him in, kind of thing, you know. Like She-Hulk, like he'd be in one of the courtroom scenes. You know what I mean? Just like I'm not going through She-Hulk and trying to find a specific scene. Or honestly, like, remember there was that magician doing crap? He could have been like an audience member in that one.
Or have him in the Matt Murdock scene.
Which Matt Murdock scene?
When Matt Murdock first shows up into the courtroom.
I'd
put him there.
And then Stan Lee makes like a little quip about him.
Because Stan Lee is in the 70s Hulk, one of the movies, with Daredevil in it.
Ooh.
And he's in the courtroom as a jury member.
Stan Lee could say something like, I think I've seen this guy before.
Well, yeah. I mean, he already did that joke for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. When they call, like, Peter Parker, you're graduating, Stan Lee's go, I think I know that guy. Yes. Good old Stan Lee.
Okay, so you like Amazing Spider-Man 2 better than the first one?
I do, yes.
I definitely like, you know, the Gwen Stacy relationship. I think, no, I can't remember because they hit a smaller rocky point with her going to college, right?
When it comes to Spider-Man 2, I like the suit better. I like the Gwen Stacy stuff better. I like the fights and just the way things look visually so much better. Like, it's the better looking Spider-Man that we've had of all the Spider-Man films. Even though I get it, Blue Electro's kind of weird. But, like, I really dig it. I don't like Harry.
Yeah, because I was recently reminded of Harry, like, oh, I forgot he's in that movie.
But, like,
sucks.
I do think his Goblin's kind of cool.
Kind of. Yeah, I think I've said that before. Like, his Goblin was cool, but I hated Harry.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you know, there's definitely stuff to dislike, but I don't think it's as bad as people say. It's got some cool stuff in it that I really like. Visually, definitely one of the better Spider-Man films.
How many stars out of 5 would you give the both of them?
Personally, I give Amazing Spider-Man 2 a 4. Although it's probably more of a 3.5.
So I was thinking like both of them hover around the 3 to 3.5 range.
Yeah, the first one is more of a 3 and 3.5. Yeah. For me. I know other people prefer that one.
And do you say Maguire, Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 1? Are you one of those people?
I love them both. But Doc Ock has a good story.
Because, like, Doc Ock just doesn't compare to me in terms of Green Goblin. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it doesn't hit the same.
Right. But I think the older I get, the more I appreciate the second film more. But I do still really like the first one. It's a classic.
They're both good. Green Goblin.
I think
especially in that movie.
The second one is like slightly better. And I say slightly.
But what makes it better? That's what I don't understand. Because everyone's like, Spider-Man 2 is better. Like, why?
It's probably like some of the character moments where Peter finally reveals to Aunt May about what happened to Ben. Peter goes through this emotional stress and trauma, which took me a long time for me to understand why he was losing his powers. It has him like giving up being Spider-Man. It has Doc Ock, which is one of my favorite villains. Stuff like that.
I'm really curious, like,
the train sequence, of course, where the people don't reveal his identity, and that's really the only time period left where you can get away with that, because today people will take pictures with their phones, where back then they didn't have that.
That's really interesting to think about.
Yeah, because the first one is probably the easier one to watch, but the second one, I think if I look at the thematic elements, I appreciate more.
How many stars do you give those two?
Well, nostalgia bias, of course.
Right.
Like, they're both at least a 4 to me.
That's fair.
Both at least a 4. 4.5 for maybe the second one, but both at least a 4.
I want to like the movies, but I just can't. It honestly largely is in parts Tobey Maguire. Even so, like, when I get new Blu-rays, like, I just like to pop them in. Just like the pop-up menu is so cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, this is my first time having Blu-rays. I never knew that could happen. You know what I mean? It's so cool to me. So there's a huge fascination with those. But despite only watching less than 30 seconds collectively of like the three, I caught enough Tobey Maguire to be like, I don't like his delivery. I just really don't.
Okay.
It really, because he is the main character, it essentially ruins the movies for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think just based on watching those less than 30 seconds, it's not even the way they decided to direct the character. Maguire just seems so out of it. Almost. I know it's something my brother says, and it's not something I have said necessarily, but it almost feels like he can't act. And again, I'm just going based off 30 seconds of crap. I'm not holding on to that statement, but he's not convincing. I'll put it that way. He's not a convincing, first and foremost, actor in those movies. But then character or Peter Parker or Spider-Man.
I kind of see that.
Peter Parker, probably the most convincing out of all the things I've listed.
Right.
But outside of that, like, I can't. It feels like he's on a different planet compared to everyone else. Not to mention the fact that he's always like looking past everybody, including the camera. And then his eyes widen at the goofiest moments. And it just makes me want to laugh more than anything else. I'm so sorry. I go on.
No, I think everybody at some point has that reaction.
Because I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and he keeps going on and on and on and on and on about how Tobey Maguire is the most comics accurate.
I mean,
and I'm just like, shut up. Like, I get you have points for sure, but like, it's almost like how I feel like you can't talk to some people due to their like nostalgia bias. I can't talk to him because of his like comic book bias, and everything has to be so accurate to the comic books. I'm just like, ugh! I'm excited to rewatch it. Like, I want to be proven wrong. You know what I mean?
I
want
mean,
to like these movies.
Sure, yeah. But if you don't like them, then you don't like them.
Yeah.
I get
but
it.
That's the thing. People can't accept the fact that I don't like them. I think that also what bugs me. You know what I mean?
I mean, sure.
It's just like, I don't like them. Let's just leave it at that. I will say, though, I have been so hung up on Tobey Maguire. When I rewatch them, I want to try to look past him and like, okay, how are the stories? You know, how's the cinematography? Like, I want to try to look more at those elements instead of just hyper focusing on Tobey Maguire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I will also say part of it, because like I complained about him as Spider-Man, that's a writing thing. That's not a him thing. Not 100%, but like, because like I think like Andrew Garfield is arguably in my mind the best out of 3 as Spider-Man.
Yeah, definitely in the second film, I definitely saw that. That's why I liked that one more, because I did not like Andrew the first film, but the second film I love him.
Because I was making an argument that Tobey Maguire is essentially the same person as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, while Garfield you can see more of a difference. And I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, Tom Holland is the same character in and out of the suit as well. And honestly, maybe even worse than Maguire. Possibly so. Because understandably so, because he was playing more that high school element that that both Maguire and Garfield were graduating out of. So like there was more that kid of Holland, which is fine, and it's understandable for that. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily change the fact that he still feels like the same character getting out of the suit. And again, that doesn't necessarily make it bad, but if you're going to go so far to argue comic book accuracy, again, I haven't read the comics, but based on things I'm hearing, that doesn't line up.
Sure. Yeah. Accuracy is debatable at times.
Yeah.
What's not debatable is Spectacular Spider-Man.
And that, in your opinion, is the most comic accurate Spider-Man. Right?
It's so. What it does, it takes all the best parts of the different comics and makes it one thing. Because the most accurate wouldn't be the best. Because there's a lot of bad stuff in it. Like, not like bad, but like not great.
And now Spectacular Spider-Man is on Disney Plus, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I was looking at the right show. Yes. You showed me 1 or 2 episodes.
I think I showed you the first episode.
Okay. And that was
back when you were just still a young Marvel lad.
Yeah. And that was in Vault-Telle until recently.
Yes, it was. Until recently. Which I'm happy for. Yes. Even though I have the DVD, so.
Right. Still, like, you want other people to be able to experience.
Yeah, I want more people to watch and appreciate it.
I do appreciate Disney, like, them trying to get the Marvel stuff home.
But they're taking so long to do it, too.
Yeah, but it's also contract stuff, which I kind of understand. But especially, like, Spectacular Spider-Man, like, that was the last thing you were expecting them to get, right?
Yeah, no, it was the last thing.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, we want to prioritize getting the Holland Spider-Man over that, but they got that one first.
Yeah.
And speaking of, now Homecoming's on Disney Plus, so that's cool.
It is. You just need the other 2.
Yeah, so now we just, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Far From Home, No Way Home, Venom 2, if you want to go that far.
Sure.
Yeah. And Morbius is stuck on Netflix for a bit. Thanks, Sony.
Still have not watched.
Oh, you still haven't seen Morbius?
I know. I still haven't seen it. I still haven't even watched the Venom DVDs that I got.
Have you seen Venom though?
No.
You. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a question about that.
Okay.
I feel like I asked this before. I'm asking again. Why did you choose the DVDs over the Blu-rays?
Because I think Blu-rays are for like things that I really like, that I really want, and
Yeah.
DVDs are just generally cheaper by like $10.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand that DVDs are passable, but, like, Blu-rays are 1080. And, like, that's so cool to me. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, but like I grew up RRing a lot with like 480 and 220, 360. So just like the good DVD quality is like great for me.
Okay.
Like that's passable. I don't need.
I guess that makes sense. I guess just like in recent years, I've just really noticed like how small DVDs are, and so I've been like, oh, really disappointed. And it wasn't until like within like the past 6 months that I realized what Blu-rays are. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Sure.
Oh, that makes sense. That's what Blu-rays are. Because all, like I said, Blu-rays were just Blu-rays. I had no idea what they were or what they were for or why they were supposed to be the successor to DVDs. And then now it clicks. It makes sense. Like, that's so cool. Now it actually makes collecting movies worth it, in my opinion.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for that, then yeah, I'd go all digital and streaming. But I'm like, oh, now there's actually worth in owning a Blu-ray over a DVD, in my opinion. So that's just really cool.
So yeah, I get Blu-rays for special things.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question. So you've tossed out all your cases? You just have your books?
Most cases I do toss out. Because space is a big thing.
Right.
I have like I've shown you my little DVD case thing with like hundreds of DVDs in it. So I use that unless I really want the case.
Right.
And those are mainly like for Blu-rays.
Or
really special things like ponies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mainly the TV shows I keep the case. Because there's a lot of discs in TV shows.
So in theory, that DVD case saves more than that other thing.
So a season, depending on what show, if it's like 20-minute episodes for, let's say 26 episodes, that's 4 discs. So TV shows, let's say 13 episodes, 40 minutes, that's 5 discs, 5 to 4 discs. So a 23 episode thing, that's like 8 discs, which is like several pages of the flick book.
Mm-hmm.
So even though like girth wise, it just saves me so much more space in the thing for DVDs.
That's fair. Gotcha. I've been like keeping my eye like on eBay here and there, like seeing like things there. Oh, so that Marvel Blu-ray lot I mentioned last time?
Yeah.
Do you know how much it ended up selling for? Like when I saw it initially, it was like at, I don't know, $20, $30.
I'm gonna say 170.
It's like 200.
Okay, yeah.
But still, like that's a really good deal. That's less than $10 per Blu-ray, which is a pretty good deal, honestly. I just didn't have $200.
Of course. Like that. Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah. Would have been really cool though. But Still, it's a lot cheaper than trying to buy them all at Best Buy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Best Buy, definitely, I wouldn't go there at first.
I will say, I want to get like the Guardians 3 Steelbook when it releases, kind of. You know, like as it relates to like building a collection, then I kind of go to like eBay to try to save. But like, because like sometimes they charge over. Sometimes you can find them cheap, but like sometimes they'll overcharge on Steelbooks later, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes like my thing is like, for example, I recently like bought a Blu-ray at Walmart, and I looked at like all the sleeve. I know them as O cards. Some people know them as slip covers. But I like looked at them all and like tried to find the slip cover that looked the most mint. You know, so sometimes like when I pick out something, I try to find the most mint looking thing.
Sure. I see that. I try to do that too.
Yeah.
But
so your Venom thing, did you go ahead and put that in your DVD case? I guess.
No, I haven't. I have to open it first.
Oh, you haven't even opened it.
I have just to see, but you know.
No, we don't know.
I saw it because I believe it comes with a digital copy, so I got the digital copies.
Okay. I haven't redeemed any of my digital copies yet.
Get on that.
Probably
Because they expire.
I know that. My Jesus Music thing's already expired. I know what's going about. But I probably should just get on that.
Even if I don't watch it, I know that I have it.
Right. Just don't have to own it.
Like a good hoarder.
Like a good hoarder.
A good digital hoarder.
Yeah. Watch Morbius wherever I want.
All right. Is there anything else?
Not really.
All right. Well, in
We
that
could keep
case,
talking if you want to.
thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.